Nathan Kress isn't a nerdy kid behind a camera anymore. Now he's a nerdy man behind the camera. Wondering what's been going on with Fredward Benson ever since iCarly first ended? For him, the last decade has involved starships, a talking hot dog, and a brutal murder? Nathan Kress kept himself busy for years by playing Freddie Benson, the dorky camera guy in Nickelodeon's iCarly. The popular sitcom about teenagers Twitch streaming before Twitch was a thing lasted from 2007 to 2012, showing kids everywhere that all they had to do to get famous was random dancing on the internet. After 6 seasons of online drama, romantic tension, and gibbe, iCarly came to an end. And that meant it was time for the next stage of Kress's career as an actor. So what was his next move? He thought he'd stretch his acting chops and go right back to playing Freddie.
Yeah, hey Sam, what's up?
Kress may have stayed in his comfort zone by bringing Freddie back for Sam and Cat, but he also branched out by moving to the big screen in the 2014 film Into the Storm. Instead of trying to outwit Neville Papperman, the actor was now facing off against something a bit more powerful. Wind! Into the Storm didn't exactly blow the house down critically, but it brought in decent cash, and it completely changed the trajectory of Kress's life. Into the Storm didn't turn Kress into a movie star, but it did turn him into a married man. Kress and actress/stuntwoman London Elise Moore met while they were both working on the film, and the pair hit it off like spaghetti and tacos. In February 2015, Kress posted a photo of Moore visiting him on the set of Henry Danger, captioning the post, "When the lady comes to visit you at work. Kiss, kiss." Aww. Kress proposed to Moore in May 2015, and they tied the knot that November. Their wedding was attended by family and friends, including iCarly stars Miranda Cosgrove, Jennette McCurdy, and Jerry Traynor. According to Kress, some iCarly enthusiasts have struggled to accept the actor's real-life marriage. He told MTV News, "Sometimes people have a little bit of trouble separating reality from a television show.
You know, I don't need this."
After spending a ton of time directing a fake web show as Freddie Benson, Nathan Kress seemed to think that he had the necessary chops to do it for real. The actor became a director for the Nickelodeon superhero show Henry Danger, starting in the 16th episode of Season 1, and he stuck with the channel that made him famous for quite a while. All in all, Kress has directed 11 Henry Danger episodes, 6 Game Shakers episodes, and 5 episodes of the iCarly reboot. Kress has a special place in his heart for Henry Danger, the show which follows the misadventures of a teenage sidekick and the adult superhero that it's totally normal for him to hang out with. Gave him the start as a director, so he was pretty broken up when the show ended in 2020. On Instagram, Kress posted side-by-side photos of his first day on set versus his last. And if you look closely, you'll spot some subtle differences between the two. He captioned the photo by writing, "5 years, a lot has changed. Not just the fact that I can't fit into those khakis anymore. I got the chance to cut my teeth as a director on this show, oblivious to how it would change my life going forward. I'm forever grateful for the opportunity and the grace that's required from a forgiving crew to let me learn this new path I'm on." That's a pretty sweet thing to say about a show that features a song about spanking.
Spanky, spanky, spank your butt, doo-dah, doo-dah.
In iCarly, Freddie is obsessed with the space opera known as Galaxy Wars. But in real life, Nathan Kress actually made an appearance in the series it's based on. And by that I mean his voice made an appearance. You can't actually see him.
Are you serious?
Welcome to the rebellion.
In 2016, Kress took on the role of Wedge Antilles in Star Wars Rebels and the video game LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. He's the guy who took down an AT-AT during the Battle of Hoth and helped blow up both Death Stars. He's kind of a big deal. As you might expect, Kress was unbelievably excited to join the biggest sci-fi franchise in the world. In a social media post, he wrote, "Ironically, Wedge was always one of my favorite characters to pretend to be as a kid. So this is the literal definition of a dream come true." You're telling me a young Kress specifically decided to play as Wedge Antilles rather than Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or my personal favorite, Nine Nun? Years before his fellow Nickelodeon stars Keke Palmer and Alex Wolff gave it a shot, Nathan Kress made a pivot in his career when he took part in his first horror film. Up until 2016, the closest thing to a scary movie that Kress had ever been in was a Halloween episode of iCarly.
The doorknob came off! Why'd you pull off the doorknob? Because I wanted it for my knob
collection.
With Tell Me How I Die, Kress became one of the potential victims of a serial killer under the influence of a powerful memory-boosting drug. His character Den is a kind-hearted soul who just wants to protect his friends. He's kind of like Freddy Benson if he had balls.
What are you waiting for?
Unlike his earlier endeavor Into the Storm, Tell Me How I Die received mixed reviews from fans and critics. The film didn't debut domestically or internationally except for in Turkey, apparently. But none of the actor's fans ended up booking a flight to Istanbul to see it. It was released for streaming everywhere else, where it languishes in obscurity. It's not a good movie by any means, but we can't fault Kress for wanting to make some cash.
I'm not like a stalker, okay? I'm just broke.
Most of us use YouTube primarily for cat clips and pop culture videos featuring a very handsome host with weird hair that everybody hates for some reason. So it's easy to forget that there are actual movies on there. Lots of them are entertaining films that were made with love and care, but Alexander IRL isn't one of them. This 2017 YouTube Red original features Nathan Kress as EJ, a wannabe Mark Zuckerberg who asks his coding expert little brother Alex to help him develop the next big app. In exchange, he'll use his social skills to help the awkward teenager throw a party and impress his crush. It's The Social Network meets Risky Business, except those movies are actually good. Instead of trying to win viewers with quality, the movie tried to make buzz for itself by starring YouTube and TikTok sensation Brent Rivera. Rivera, who's been accused of stealing content from other creators, doesn't seem to steal anything good for his performance. Ooh. At the very least though, Kress does his best with what he's given.
I wrote down pick up Alex on my hand, but it's smudged, so I thought it said pick up a locks. Bought all this locks for nothing.
Critics weren't impressed with Alexander IRL, and neither were general audiences. Not even Brent Rivera fans. Brian Costello, a Common Sense Media reviewer, put it well when he said, "This is amateur filmmaking at its absolute worst." Yikes. If you've read her book, you know that Jennette McCurdy didn't enjoy her time working for Nickelodeon nearly as much as Nathan Kress probably did. But that doesn't mean that the two actors don't keep in touch. Even though McCurdy declined to return as Sam Puckett for the iCarly reboot, she reunited with the former Freddie Benson years earlier for the short film 8 Bodies. The killer comedy features McCurdy as half of a murderous couple, and Kress as a goofy cop who stops them at a checkpoint.
Woo! Sorry, my siren broke.
For the iCarly fans who loved watching Sam inflict various traumas on Freddie, 8 Bodies is a must-see. Rather than pelt him with an apple or fake a trustful though, she goes for something a little simpler, a baseball bat to the brain. Apparently the team only had a single take to get this right, and it's bloodier than iCarly ever was. Luckily for Kress, McCurdy and the costume department, they managed to pull it off. While directing episodes of Henry Danger, Nathan Kress was involved in another Nickelodeon show as the voice of J.J. Jameson.
No, this is wrong. I am a computer expert. I know so much.
Not that one. Kress played J.J. Jameson in the show Pinky Malinky, a joint endeavor between Nickelodeon and Netflix. Despite being a mockumentary-style cartoon about a sentient hot dog, Kress's role is once again pretty similar to Freddie. When Nickelodeon announced the cartoon in 2018, Kress took to the website formerly known as Twitter to express his excitement. He posted, "Yes! It's been too many years. Cannot wait for everyone to see what we've been cooking up. It's madness, but there's also like good life lessons and friendship and stuff. It's gonna be a blast, you guys."
That's my boy, that's my boy, that's my boy. He's my boy, he's a hot dog buddy, he's my boy.
Pinky Malinky was cancelled after 3 seasons, but not before it was nominated for Outstanding Editing for an Animated Program at the 2020 Daytime Emmy Awards. Parents seemed to appreciate its positive messages, but mostly they enjoyed the more offbeat jokes that often came out of nowhere.
Oh, Mom. I love your mom. I love her.
All good things must come to an end. Until they're rebooted for 3 seasons 9 years later. That's what Miranda Cosgrove, Nathan Kress, and Jerry Trainor learned when they were given the chance to bring back iCarly, but for grown-ups this time.
Fun ruckus here. Let's get this party started. Oh, looks like the party already started.
There were more adult topics and dirty jokes in the reboot, and that meant that there was more romance. Carly and Freddie finally started dating for real, and they were about to get married in the season 3 finale, only for the show to get cancelled after a massive cliffhanger involving a character we've never seen before.
Mom? You got a mom?
Kress had been excited to show the world what Freddie Benson looks like as an adult, which is why he was so devastated about the news. He posted a lengthy thank you message to fans, writers, and crew members on social media, which concluded by saying, "Obviously, this stings a bit. We had a lot of story left to tell, and we were excited to give you guys the ending you deserved. No one wanted this to end on a cliffhanger. Maybe somehow, someday, we'll find out how the story ends. Will iCarly return in 2032? Never say never, but shows aren't typically rebooted twice. Except for The Twilight Zone, Beverly Hills 90210, and Futurama, and The Powerpuff Girls, The Odd Couple, The Fugitive, The Addams Family. Yeah, you get the idea. It's too bad that Carly Shay and Freddie Benson never got to say I do or have iKids. But as Kress himself said, some fans have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that iCarly is a work of fiction. Rather than get worked up over the failure of his on-screen marriage, Kress has focused on his real-life family. And that includes 3 children, as of June 2023. On the 27th of that month, he posted photos of his newest bundle of joy, Lincoln William Kress, on Instagram with the caption, "Little Link is awesome. My wife is an absolute champ as always. Our girls are the big sis dynamic duo, and Penny, the dog, is very interested in the mesmerizing smells that emanate from this weird blob we brought home." Kress and his wife London also have daughters, Rosie Carolyn and Evie Elise. So far, Kress is enjoying being a father, a role that he told The Messenger helped him get through the SAG-AFTRA strike. Though he wasn't able to work or promote new projects, he was able to spend quality time with his little ones. He said of his family, "These guys are my clan. They're my party people. I'll go anywhere with them. It doesn't matter how many snacks they need in the car." Now that the Hollywood actors are back to work, Kress is doing his acting thing once again. And thankfully, he has no intention of striking as dad.